Hello and welcome to this free mandolin lesson aimed at beginner and intermediate players, and in the next 10 or 12 minutes or so we're going to learn one of my favourite Irish jigs called Morrison's jig, and that will hopefully have something sounding like this. Everything we talk about in this video is included in a free PDF, which is linked below, so you can have all the tab and or music in front of you and you don't have to learn any of this by ear. So before we learn the actual tune, I just want to talk about two techniques that you're going to come up against when you're learning Morrison's jig. The first one is given away in the title. It's called Morrison's jig. It's in Jig Time, which means it's in 6/8. And if you've never thought about 6/8 before, the number on the top, the 6, means how many notes per bar, and the number underneath means how long those notes last. So 8 underneath means you're thinking in terms of eighth notes, and you have 6 of them in the bar. So you've got 6 eighth notes in 6/8. And then counting-wise, there's no longer ands or 1 and 2 and, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with an emphasis on 1 and 4, which creates a bit of a problem for our pick strokes. If you were to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as alternate pick strokes, like we do in a normal time signature, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down, up, down, up, down, up. One of your supposed strong beats falls on an up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 4 falls on an up, which is fine. If I was to give you an example of an Irish jig played like that, if I was to pick maybe the Irish washerwoman, every other note, it sort of evens it out and you lose the element of, am I in jig time, am I in 4/4 time? If you were to fix that a little bit and think of each group of 3 notes as down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, and you connect all them together, you get down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. So you get a little double down like this. Down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. So now what you've got, yes, you've got a double down in there, but you are ensuring that every beat that you want strong is going to fall on a down, because that is naturally our stronger direction. So if I was to now go back to Irish Washerwoman, we were playing it like this. If I was to fix it and overdub Jig Time, we get this. Just means I can keep that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if this is the first time you've ever sort of thought about pick strokes in jigs, I've included a few exercises. Just a few open string exercises, just to get your right hand playing it. But for those who have mastered that, let's move on. One final element before we learn the tune is just what happens in the opening 2 measures of Morrison's jig. So you've got this phrase. And this is one of the reasons I wanted to choose this tune. It's a good opportunity to talk about this. Whenever on the mandolin you have 2 adjoining frets, so we have 2, 4, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So you're constantly jumping between 2, 2, 2. And unfortunately, 20 years in, I still haven't quite got those as clean as I was like. It's always going to be hard on the mandolin when you've got adjoining frets in a melody. And there's 3 ways you could do it, and none of them are less or more correct than others. It's just what suits your hand. So the first is to imagine you're playing a bar chord. So you lay your finger flat, and then instead of playing with the tip of your finger, you're playing with the flat bit. That ensures both are down. The other one is you can tuck one finger in behind the other, so your middle finger would come round and squeeze in. So you're essentially using 2 fingers next to each other. Or you could do a bit of a rock. So this is the method I use. My fingers are too fat to get one in behind the other, and my hand isn't quite the right shape to do the bar. So I do, like I'm playing a normal string, the normal fret on the low one, so I essentially plant on the low one, and then just rock my hand a little bit. little rock. So I'm not that high note. I'm sort of catching not quite with the tip, but that's my best way of doing it. And I've overdubbed a close up of that so you can see what's happening. But whichever method, it's never ideal. You know a tune's not been written on the mandolin when there's lots of adjoining frets. Now let's learn the tune. We're going to have a full jam through this at the end, but we'll learn it in sections first. So if we play the first 4 bars of the A part, and don't forget you can slow me down at any point or just hit pause and try it yourself. And I've put in the pick strokes for you for the first line. So let's just try it nice and slow. The first line, it's a sort of A, B, A, C format. So bars 1 and 3 are the same. So 2, 3, 4. So just give you another go at that. So this is just the first 4 bars. 2, 3, 4. And then the second line is relatively similar. So it's just, again, dive in and try that. 2, 3, 4. So it's a lovely tune. Let's just try 1 A part together and then we'll move on to the B part. 2, 3, 4. Such a cool tune. It's in E minor, but it's somehow cheerful at the same time. Irish jigs especially do this so well. Sort of, it's minor, but it's happy. The B part, it looks really long. It's sort of 4 lines, but it is essentially the first line and the third line are exactly the same. So it's lines 2 and 4 that are different. So the first line of the B part, and thankfully it's now all 8th notes, so it's just down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. So let's try that together a bit slower. 2, 3, 4. And then the second line. 2, 3, 4. So then let's keep going. So line 3, which is another chance of having a go at line 1 essentially. So 3, 4. And then we're on to this last line. I'm just flying through this because we're going to play it round and round at the end. So the last line of the whole tune. 3, 4. And just before we move on, let's play the whole B part together. 2, 3, 4. Third line. And it sounds incomplete, this tune, because it wants you to just go straight back to the top and carry on, so that's why it doesn't quite sound like it resolves like normal tunes do. To finish this lesson off, I'm going to do something I don't normally do, which is have quite a long jam of the tune, because I want to recreate what happens in an Irish session. And the way you play these in Irish sessions is 3 times round, and then you would put another tune with it. We're not going to do that today, but we're going to do it 3 times round. So first of all, it gives you 3 goes at it. I'm also going to overdub like I did on the example. I'm going to bring that bouzouki back in and play Irish bouzouki as best as I can. And so we can sort of recreate how you would play this in an Irish session. So I'm going to stick the metronome. It's going to be at 80 BPM, which is just a little quicker than we did there. But don't forget, this cog can slow me down. 3 times 2, so it's going to be quite a lengthy play through this. So if you kind of forget where you are, just wait for the sections to come round. Best of luck. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the top. And repeat. B part. So hopefully you made it to the end there. It was quite an epic of a jam, but that's how you would do it in an Irish session. Then you'd move on to another tune. If you have any questions, you can get in touch with the comments below. We do these lessons every month. We're over at mandomike.com, or hit like and subscribe while you're here, and we'll see you next month.